You're watching One India News. I'm Gulab. Australia captain Steve Smith has again raked up his infamous feud with India captain Virat Kohli, which dominated the headlines during the four-test Border Gavaskar series held in India earlier this year. India, who eventually won the series 2-1, faced an embarrassing 333-run defeat against Australia in the first test in Pune and were desperate to bounce back in the second match in Bangalore, which they did by winning the test by 75 runs. However, the match ended in controversy after Smith was caught looking towards the dressing room balcony for advice on DRS appeal against his dismissal. The entire incident snowballed into a huge controversy, threatening to overshadow the contest. Let me tell you, Steve Smith, in his book My Journey, released on Wednesday, slammed Virat Kohli for saying the visiting side were habitual offenders in an issue that saw both boats briefly ranged behind their player before truce was called. While Smith at that point of time called it a brain fade on his part, Kohli stopped short of calling Smith a cheat but said he had seen the Australian player seeking dressing room's advice twice before making DRS calls. As the issue threatened to escalate, the ICC intervened and brokered peace without penalizing anyone. Recounting the ill-fated incident, the Australian captain said that Kohli's claims were rubbish. Smith wrote in his book My Journey, "It wasn't until afterwards that I realized what a talking point it had become, fueled by Kohli's post-match claims that we'd called on off-field assistants twice earlier in the match to help our on-field deliberations." He said, "As far as I was concerned, we'd never tried to consult with the dressing room beforehand, and although," he said, "he'd brought those previous occasions to the notice of the umpires, I can say categorically that we were never spoken to by either those umpires or match referee Chris Broad about any such breaches in protocol." He also said that Virat Kohli has always been a player who's thrived in the most intense of environments, and like me, he loves a battle, and I can only think it was his way of raising the temperature in the series in an attempt to get the best out of himself. The idea of getting messages from the sidelines for that purpose was not a tactic we as a team ever spoke about, and I can't work out what he was referring to in his remarks. Smith said it was still a big mystery to him as to what prompted Kohli to make such accusations. He further said that there was never anything further on the matter from the ICC, and Virat never detailed the incident he was referring to. And during the brief interactions we had, including at the captain's briefing for the IPL as that tournament followed the series, he was friendly, and it was as if any ill feeling he may have had over the incident had disappeared. It was and still is all a big mystery to me. Smith also expressed his disappointment on BCCI playing up an on-field exchange between Ravindra Jadeja and Matthew Wade during the last test in Dharamshala, which India won to clinch the series. Smith said it only presented one side of the story. Well, that's all in this video for now. For more latest news and videos, don't forget to subscribe to One India News.